Hey guys, it's David here, and before I start the video, I wanted to inform you guys about kind of like a little bit of the backstory behind the video. So I started this video in, I believe it was October, for a video for one of my classes, and I realized that I would not be able to fit the history of Mario Kart into 10 minutes, which was the limit. So I decided to release a 10-minute version early so I could use that for the assignment and then build on top of that and release it when I could. It was planned to release at the beginning of November. Obviously it didn't. I was hit by a car, so I couldn't really edit for like a month. There was a break in the editing. I thought I had it done, and then I broke my arm, and then when I was feeling ready enough to edit again, I realized that the audio was completely screwed up, the video was just not the best, and so I decided to basically start from scratch again, and that took about a month. So now, it is a month later, and I am finally ready to present to you the history of Mario Kart. This video has taken me 3 months to make, and it has been the biggest video project I think I've ever worked on. So this has been a crazy, crazy video. I've worked so hard on it. I've spent over 100 hours on it. I can tell you that. I've spent so much time on it. And I'm gonna need a break after this. I'm probably not gonna be doing a lot of main videos anymore. I'm probably gonna be doing more of the live streaming gameplay videos, because I really have worn myself out editing these documentary kind of videos or these discussion videos. It really is a lot to take on. And since Mario Kart Tour is basically just gone now, I really don't have much else to do. I mean, this is kind of like the finale for all of my discussion videos. I'm kind of like ready to start a new chapter of my channel. So yeah, I hope you guys have liked the Mario Kart Tour discussion kind of video content, the reactions and all that. I hope you guys like that chapter of my channel, but it's time to move on. I'm going to be starting to do a lot of more gameplays, live streams, stuff that doesn't take months to edit. So I hope you guys really enjoy this, and thank you all so much for 7 years of my channel. Love you guys. Love you guys.
What's up guys, it's David here, and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. Today, we will be going over the history of my favorite video game franchise of all time, Mario Kart. There is a ton to unpack here, so without further ado, make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends if you enjoyed, and let's get started. Let me start off by explaining what Mario Kart is, if you're living under a rock. Mario Kart is a racing game featuring Super Mario and friends driving various different vehicles on colorful and unique racetracks, with usually 3 laps each. You try to get first place while avoiding items being thrown at you and by using items to your advantage. It is also known as the literal friendship killer of video games. Now that you know what Mario Kart is, let's talk about where it all began. We're going back to 1992 when Super Mario Kart was released for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Originally, the plan was for a 2-player split-screen racing game similar to F-Zero, another racing game on the SNES at the time. Due to the complexity of the tracks in F-Zero, multiplayer would be nearly impossible due to hardware limitations. This then evolved into a new racing game with generic men driving hoverboards on a basic track, which then evolved into a go-kart racing game featuring recognizable faces from the game Super Mario Bros. That was released on the Nintendo Entertainment System 7 years prior. The playable cast included Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Yoshi, Koopa Troopa, Bowser, and Donkey Kong Jr. The majority of the characters were perfect inclusions, except for Donkey Kong Jr., which was included over Donkey Kong due to the 10-year anniversary of its debut. To this day, Donkey Kong Jr. has never been playable in a Mario Kart game in his normal form. Although he was added to Mario Kart Tour in 2020, he was still a 16-bit sprite rather than a 3D model, so that doesn't count in my opinion. The items included in this game have been staples of the series ever since. They include the mushroom, which gives you a boost of speed, banana, which you place down to slip up on opponents, green shell, which is thrown at an opponent to hit the cart and make them spin out, the red shell, which is a green shell but it homes in on opponents when thrown, the star, which will turn you invincible for a while, the coin, which will increase your speed, the lightning, which will shrink all of your opponents, causing them to lose speed and get squished, the feather, which allows you to jump on the tracks to take shortcuts, and the blue item, which will turn you invisible and steal an opponent's item. There were a total of 20 tracks included in Super Mario Kart, although there were only 8 track themes. There was also a battle mode included where players start with 3 balloons on their cart and race around an arena, trying to hit opponents to take out one of their balloons, while also trying not to get hit themselves. If you lose all 3 of your balloons, you are eliminated, and the last player standing wins. Moving on to Mario Kart 64, originally titled Super Mario Kart R, released on the Nintendo 64 in 1996. The game evolves the series in many ways, including the characters being fully modeled, introduces mini turbo boosts from drifting, 4-player multiplayer, and much more. Oddly enough, the coin function was removed in this game for an unknown reason. Mario Kart 64 introduces Wario as a playable character, replacing Koopa Troopa from the previous game, and Donkey Kong, replacing Donkey Kong Jr. from the previous game. Kamek was originally planned to be playable, but was replaced by Donkey Kong late in development. There were also many new items introduced in this entry, including the fake item box, which resembles an item box, but stunts players when it is collected, and the most recognizable Mario Kart item ever, the PTSD-inducing Blue Shell, which targets the player in first place and crashes down on them, causing them to spin out for a substantially long amount of time compared to other items. This is the main reason why Mario Kart is considered a friendship killer. There are also more variants of items, including the triple mushrooms and triple shells, the banana bunch, which includes 5 bananas, and the golden mushroom, which allows you to have unlimited mushroom boosts for a specific amount of time. The feather was also scrapped from the game late in development, possibly due to it breaking the game. The tracks were also given a new life, as there are now 16 unique tracks with all unique themes. Granted, some of the tracks share the same soundtrack and have similar assets, but it is a huge step up from the same 8 tracks but with different layouts like in the previous entry. There are also brand new battle tracks, as well as a planned Candyland themed battle course that was scrapped. Next up, we will be discussing Mario Kart Super Circuit, which was released on the Game Boy Advance in 2001. This was the first Mario Kart game on a handheld, so it is not much different from the past entries. The game features local multiplayer, allowing people without even owning the game the ability to play together with someone else that owns the game. The character selection is completely copied from Mario Kart 64, but includes a brand new random icon as well as 4 new Yoshi colors exclusive to local multiplayer with someone who doesn't own the game. The item selection is once again copied directly from Mario Kart 64, with a few differences. The golden mushroom, banana bunch, and fake item box were all cut from the game for unknown reasons, and can still be accessed using cheat codes in the final game. The track selection features 20 new tracks, including 4 new variants of Bowser's Castle. The tracks follow the same pattern as Mario Kart 64, with many tracks repeating music and assets, with different layouts and theming. On top of the 20 new tracks, Mario Kart Super Circuit also includes remakes of all 20 tracks from Super Mario Kart. There are also 4 new battle courses included, and all 4 of the battle courses from Super Mario Kart are present in the game's files, but went unused, although they can still be accessed through cheat codes. Moving on to a much more revolutionary entry, Mario Kart Double Dash released for the Nintendo GameCube in 2003. The game flips the entire franchise upside down and introduces entirely new gameplay across the board. 2 players drive 1 kart in a tag team fashion while using unique special items, customizable karts across 16 all-new tracks. You can also play with up to 8 players using LAN play. Already, the game is the biggest revolution to the series has ever had up to this point. The game also introduces attacking other players, allowing you to steal their items, and being able to hold on to 2 items at once and being able to switch between them to choose which one you want to use. There are a whopping 20 playable characters in this game, due to every character needing a partner. Newcomers include Daisy, Birdo, Toadette, Waluigi, Diddy Kong, Bowser Jr., Koopa Paratroopa, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, King Boo, and Petey Piranha. Donkey Kong Jr. was originally planned as well, but was replaced by Diddy Kong very early in development. Item selection has been heavily modified as well. Every character pairing has their own special item, similar to how the CPUs have special items in Super Mario Kart. These special items include fireballs that can be thrown at opponents to spin out, hearts, which can act as a shield against 2 item hits and allow the player to steal said items, the egg, which acts like a red shell, but drops 3 items on the track on impact, the chain chomp drags you across the track in insane speeds, the bomb, which acts as a throwable bomb that explodes on impact, blowing up any players in the radius, the Bowser shell, which acts as a giant spiky shell that bounces on the walls, hitting opponents, and the giant banana, which is a giant banana that splits into 3 normal bananas once hit. The 16 new tracks follow the same trend as previous games, being completely unique, with some assets and music reused. It also features 6 brand new battle courses, with 2 new battle modes, including Bob-omb Blast, which features Bob-ombs as the only items, and Shine Thief, where players drive around the track to collect the giant shine and hold onto it without getting hit in order to win. There are also different carts to choose from, each one altering your stats. Each character has a specific cart designed for them, as well as a special golden cart that can be unlocked. Moving on to Mario Kart DS, released for the Nintendo DS in 2005. This is once again a handheld game, meaning there are not as many changes from previous entries, although it does have its fair share of new features. The game features a total of 12 characters, including the entirety of Mario Kart 64's roster, as well as Daisy and Waluigi returning from Mario Kart Double Dash. Other 2 newcomers are complete oddball picks and were completely out of left field. Dry Bones makes his Mario Kart debut, which may seem like a staple nowadays, but including him over Koopa Troopa is a very unusual choice overall. The other newcomer is probably the most weird and unnecessary character in the franchise, and it foreshadows future entries. This character is none other than Rob the Robot, a robot accessory for Nintendo Entertainment System in 1985. He had literally no reason to be there other than as a joke character. There were also 3 characters that were unused. Professor Egad from Luigi's Mansion has data in the files confirming he was originally playable, but was scrapped in favor of Dry Bones in the final game. Birdo was also intended to be playable, but was replaced by Rob in the final game. The 3rd character is an unusual one because he is actually playable exclusively in local play, similar to the Yoshis in Super Circuit. Of course, I am talking about Shy Guy. The weird thing is, Shy Guy has an unused character select screen icon, implying that at one point he was considered as a playable character. Moving on to items, all normal items for Mario Kart Double Dash return, in addition to some of the special items. The Golden Mushroom, Triple Shells, and Bob-ombs all return as staples items to the series. New items include the Triple Bananas, which is pretty self-explanatory, Blooper, which sprays ink all over your opponent's screen, blocking their view, and the Bullet Bill, which acts as an improved chain jump without being able to fall off the track. There were also some cut items such as the Chain Chomp, Bowser Shell, and Purple Shell, which all appear in the item roulette of the kiosk demo of Mario Kart DS. There are also 16 new tracks included in the game, all following the same trend as previous entries, with even more unique assets and soundtracks. In addition to the 16 new tracks, 16 retro tracks have also been included. These are similar to Mario Kart Super Circuit remaking the SNES tracks, but this time, the remade tracks span across all previous entries and are heavily remade. There are also many cut tracks, but most of which were test tracks or were remade as different courses. GCN Mario Circuit was originally planned as a retro, but was cut in favor of GCN Luigi Circuit. There are also 6 battle courses included, in addition to a new type of battle called Shine Runners, which was later renamed to Coin Runners in later entries, which is basically your average collect the most shines to win kind of battle. Mario Kart DS also introduces Mission Mode, a set of mini challenges to complete. This mode was beloved by many and brought in a completely new aspect to Mario Kart. Sadly, this mode never returned despite how requested and beloved it was. Next up is Mario Kart Wii, released in 2008 for the Nintendo Wii. The game introduced motion controls, bikes, tricks, half-pipes, online play, and ultra shortcuts, making this one of the most revolutionary entries in the series' history. The game evolved the series so drastically that it is hard to imagine the game without these features. The game includes 26 characters and introduces 7 new characters to the series, being Baby Peach, Baby Daisy, Rosalina, Funky Kong, Dry Bowser, Mii Outfit A, and Mii Outfit B. Granted, you can count the Miis as one character, but for the video's sake, I am considering them as separate. All characters from previous entries return, except Donkey Kong Jr., Rob, Petey Piranha, and Koopa Paratroopa. While the newcomers may seem kind of lazy and unoriginal, this entry established the staples of Mario Kart. I can't imagine Mario Kart without them. There were also 4 cut characters with icons in the files. These include Petey Piranha, Koopa Paratroopa, Hammer Bro, and Mii Outfit C. The item selection is very interesting this time around. All items from Mario Kart DS return with the exception of the Boo item. It also introduces 3 new items including the POW block, which allows the player to send shockwaves to other players, the Mega Mushroom, which turns you Mega, allowing the player to crush everything in their path for a short amount of time, and finally, the Thunder Cloud. This item makes you go faster for a few seconds, but if you can't pass the Thunder Cloud to another racer in time, you will get struck by lightning. It's essentially a game of hot potato trying to get rid of it as soon as possible. This game is notorious for its insane item balancing, having like 4 damn blue shells spawning every race. There were also 4 cut items in the files of the game. The Chain Chomp from Mario Kart Double Dash and 3 orbs labeled new item. Over time, people were able to discover that 2 of the 3 mystery orbs were a Wiggler item and the fireballs from Mario Kart Double Dash. We still have no idea what the 3rd item was to this day. The track selection features the same patterns as previous entries, with a bit of a twist. We continue the 16 Nitro and 16 Retro tracks trend, but from this point forward, every track has unique music other than the circuit tracks. There are also 10 battle maps in this game, 5 new and 5 retro. The game also features 36 different vehicle options, each with different stats. There are 6 bikes and 6 carts for each of the 3 weight classes to choose from, giving tons of variety for players. There were also 2 scrapped carts based on a Mecha Koopa and a Cloud Cart. Finally, the mission mode for Mario Kart DS was also implemented but scrapped late in development. Some people are actually able to load in some of the scrapped missions and are actually playable with the help of hacking and modding. On to Mario Kart 7, which released for the Nintendo 3DS in 2011. The game is where the series began to go downhill for a short amount of time. It isn't bad by any means, but it's definitely the start of the dark era of Mario Kart. It does revolutionize the series in many ways that are now staples of the series. For instance, it introduces gliding, underwater driving, and customizable kart parts. It also reintroduces the coin function from previous entries that will give you a small speed boost the more you collect. Although there is now a 10 coin limit, which is pretty dumb in my opinion. The character roster has been narrowed down to 17 from Mario Kart Wii's 26. The cast of Mario Kart 64 all returns, as well as Daisy, Rosalina, Koopa Troopa, and the Mii. We now have 5 newcomers to the series: Shy Guy, who is finally playable outside of local multiplayer, Lakitu, who is a really cool addition to have, Wiggler, who is just hilarious how they found a way to make a caterpillar drive, Honey Queen, a side character from Mario Galaxy, and everyone's favorite character, Metal Mario from Super Mario 64. Honestly, the character selection this time around is awful. Waluigi was originally planned but was replaced by Metal Mario due to time constraints. There's no official evidence why he was cut, but this is what people speculate. Nevertheless, if Waluigi pinballs in the game, Waluigi should have been in the game for sure. The items featured in this game are all copied from Mario Kart Wii except for the new items and the fake item box. Mega Mushroom and fake item box actually have internal data left over in the files, confirming they were originally planned to reappear. There are also 3 new items introduced in Mario Kart 7. These include the Tanuki Leaf, which gives your cart a tail that can reflect projectiles and make you go faster for a short amount of time, the Fire Flower, which is different from the fireballs in previous entries, allowing you to throw up to 10 fireballs at other players, and the Lucky 7, which is the most broken item in the game, giving you 7 items to use at once. These items include the Red Shell, Green Shell, Star, Banana, Bob-omb, Mushroom, and the Blooper. The track selection features 16 Nitro and 16 Retro tracks similar to previous games. 3 Nitro and 3 Retro battle tracks are also in the game, although the Nitro tracks no longer have unique music. The game features full kart customization for the first time, letting you pick from many different bodies, tires, and gliders. Mario Kart 8 released for the Wii U in 2014, introducing a few new features. The main gimmick being anti-gravity, allowing racers to seamlessly drive on walls and upside down, defying all laws of gravity, as well as amiibo support to unlock costumes for your Miis to race in, similar to Mii Outfit B in Mario Kart Wii, and the introduction as ATVs as vehicle options. The game received paid DLC from August 2014 to May 2015 that included additional characters, tracks, and vehicle options. There were also 2 free updates to the game, including the introduction of a 200cc race class and a partnership with Mercedes-Benz to add real-life Mercedes vehicles as free DLC. The game introduced 9 new characters, all of which are reskins or similar to other characters, including all 7 Koopalings, Baby Rosalina, and the worst character to date, Pink Gold Peach. Diddy Kong, Dry Bones, King Boo, Bowser Jr., Birdo, and Dry Bowser were all cut from Mario Kart 8. As DLC characters, we were given Link from The Legend of Zelda, Isabelle and Villager from Animal Crossing, Tanuki Mario, Cat Peach, Dry Bowser, as well as 8 color swaps for Yoshi and Shy Guy. This was probably the worst roster in a Mario game of all time. Not to mention that many characters were cut during development, including Gold Mario, Dry Bowser, and of course Kamek got cut again! Dry Bowser was originally intended to be a part of the base game, but was moved to DLC for unknown reasons. Next up, we will be talking about items. All items from Mario Kart 7 return except for the Tanuki Leaf and the Lucky 7. The new items include the coin returning from Super Mario Kart, the Boomerang Flower, which can be thrown 3 times forward or backward to hit opponents, the Piranha Plant, which gives the player a Piranha Plant to hold onto and chomp at opponents nearby to gain a boost of speed, the Crazy 8, which is essentially the Lucky 7 but with an added coin, and the Super Horn, which is a sound box that produces a sound wave, causing opponents nearby to crash and destroy any obstacles, including the blue shell. The item was specifically made to destroy the blue shell. For tracks, we have the 16 retro and 16 nitro tracks following the pattern of other entries, but now, every track has unique music that has been recorded with a live orchestra, and every track sounds amazing. You would think it would sound weird having an orchestra playing while you are in a high-speed race, but it fits so damn well and brings so much life to each track. The DLC introduces 4 additional cups, including 7 retro tracks, 4 nitro tracks, and 5 tracks based on a series such as Animal Crossing, Legend of Zelda, Excite Bike, and 2 based on F-Zero. Original DLC cups were also different, including the Shine, Boo, and Spiny Shell cup. Shy Guy Bazaar from Mario Kart 7 was originally planned, but was scrapped. Rather than designing brand new battle tracks, the developers opted to use pre-existing racetracks and repurpose them as battle maps. This led to the worst battle mode in Mario Kart history. Next up, I will be talking about Mario Kart Tour. Mario Kart Tour was released in 2019 and is the 9th mainline entry in the Mario Kart franchise, despite being a mobile adaptation of the franchise. The game released over 265 drivers, 354 karts, 255 gliders, and 541 tracks across the 4 years of constant updates. Granted, over half the drivers, karts, and gliders were reskins and costumes, and out of the 541 tracks, only 25% of these are original tracks. Each track has 4 variations to play: normal, reverse, trick, and reverse trick. If we take away all the variants of the tracks, we are left with 136 unique tracks. Mario Kart Tour allows you to get up to 3 items at once, depending on the character you use on a specific track. If you end up getting 3 of the same item, it triggers a frenzy, which replaces the star item in other Mario Kart games, allowing you to use an unlimited number of that item for a short amount of time. Mario Kart Tour introduced so many new characters, most of which are costumes with some exceptions. Newcomers include Pauline, Peachette, Hammer Bro, Monty Mole, Dixie Kong, Captain Toad, Nabbit, King Bob-omb, Kamek, Chargin' Chuck, and Poochie. The game also brought back many fan-favorite characters that were not in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at the time, including Birdo, Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Donkey Kong Jr. in his 16-bit form, Petey Piranha, and Wiggler. Mario Kart Tour doesn't exactly play like the other Mario Kart games. The game introduces a scoring system that revolves around the number of actions you can get, and if you can keep a combo. The more actions you perform, the higher your combo gets, and the higher your combo gets grants you more points per action, which will then increase your overall score. The reason for this is because of the main focus of the game, ranked mode. Each week you are put against 19 other players in your rank tier, and compete for the highest overall score in a cup. The first place gets rewards that can be used to get new items from the shop, including rubies and coins, as well as tickets that can be used to upgrade your drivers, karts, and gliders for higher frenzy chances, longer combo time, and more points per action. The items in this game are some of the best in the franchise. Special items from Mario Kart Double Dash are back, with each character having their own special item. Mario Kart Tour cut many items in the series, including the Boo, Pow, Thundercloud, Piranha Plant, Triple Red Shells, Golden Mushroom, Chain Chomp, Crazy 8, Fake Item Box, and Banana Bunch. Although the new items of the franchise definitely make up for them. These include the Ice Flower, which works like a Fire Flower but freezes opponents, Super Bell, which acts as a Super Horn but rings 3 times, the Dash Ring, which gives you 3 rings to pass through to get speed boosts, the Bubble, which puts you through a bubble to float around in, protecting you from items and allowing you to take shortcuts easily. The Giga Bob-omb, which acts as a giant bomb you can throw forwards that bounces on the walls before deploying, the double bob-ombs, which act just like the triple bananas, the hammer, which is thrown in an arc and homes in on opponents, the capsule, which gives you 3 pills to throw that bounce off the ground and hit opponents, the mushroom cannon, which shoots up to 10 mushrooms in front of you, the bob-omb cannon, which acts in a very similar way but with bombs, and the banana barrels also act the same way but with bananas. And finally, the most overpowered item in the game, the coin box, which shoots over 30 coins in front of you to collect. Rather than previous games, coins are very broken in Mario Kart Tour, as each one you collect is worth an action and contributes drastically to scoring and combo keeping. Mario Kart Tour also introduces a form of mission mode for Mario Kart DS. At the end of every cup, there is a challenge to complete that replicates the mission mode for Mario Kart DS. It isn't the exact same, but is the closest thing we have gotten to a revival of mission mode. The new tracks in this game are very interesting. We got 7 new tracks, 14 tracks based on real-life cities, 33 new variants of tracks, 10 remix versions of old tracks, 5 battle courses, and 71 retro tracks. Since the game will eventually be removed from the App Store, Nintendo decided to port the majority of the new content into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in order to preserve Mario Kart Tour as the 9th entry of the series. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's move on to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was released for the Nintendo Switch in 2017. This game builds upon Mario Kart 8 and fixes the majority of what went wrong. It also introduces smart steering and auto acceleration as accessibility options for beginners. The game ended up receiving DLC in the form of the Booster Course Pass from March 2022 until November 2023, adding tracks and characters to the game. We were also given 18 Mii suits for Mario Kart Tour, custom items in Versus mode, and a jukebox in-game, allowing you to listen to the entire Mario Kart soundtrack on your Switch. The character roster was fixed for the most part, and added 5 new characters including Bowser Jr., King Boo, Dry Bones, the Inklings, and Gold Mario as an unlockable reskin for Metal Mario. Additionally, a costume for Link and his Breath of the Wild tunic was added as a free update in 2019. Paid DLC characters were also included as a part of the Booster Course Pass in 2023, including Birdo in 8 color swaps, Petey Piranha, Wiggler, Pauline, Funky Kong, Diddy Kong, and Peachette, all ported from Mario Kart Tour. And finally, after over 18 years, Kamek was finally added as a playable character in Mario Kart Tour, and he is amazing. The items included in this game all return from Mario Kart 8, with 2 new additions. The Boo item and Feather item both make a return to the series. Speaking of items, you can now hold up to 2 items at once, which is a great change. The tracks added in this game were all ported from Mario Kart Tour and remade from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's engine. We ended up getting 48 additional tracks as DLC, which included the majority of Tour's cities and Nitro tracks, as well as 28 remakes of retro tracks featured in Tour. Originally, the DLC tracks were heavily criticized for the lack of detail compared to the base game tracks, but over time the tracks became more and more detailed. Many tracks were also swapped around from their original placements, according to a datamine in March 2022 that leaked the track prefixes for the remaining tracks in the Booster Course Pass. There was also a cut track from Mario Kart Tour, due to Tour's content ending earlier than expected, that was replaced by Wii Moonview Highway. GCN Mushroom Bridge was also scrapped and replaced by Wii Daisy Circuit, which was a great decision in my opinion. Sadly, there was one other Tour Nitro that was replaced in the Booster Course Pass for unknown reasons. That track being Piranha Plant Pipeline, the cancelled track from Mario Kart DS. Instead, we ended up getting 3DS Rosalina's Ice World, which makes sense for the Booster Course Pass, but why instead of a Tour Nitro? I have no idea why this track got scrapped, and it is such a slap in the face that the same track got scrapped twice. Most of the tracks are fan favorites and play so well in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. If you are someone who doesn't want to consider Mario Kart Tour as a mainline entry, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is that mainline entry. It may have been released as a port originally, but over time it has become more and more of its own game and feels like it is more of Mario Kart 9 than a deluxe port of Mario Kart 8. I haven't even mentioned that this game added the best battle mode we've ever had. We went from 2 modes with no original battle tracks to 5 modes with 8 battle tracks. The 4 brand new battle tracks are all based on other racetracks in the game, but are remade for battles. There is one brand new battle track called Urchin Underpass, which is completely based on the Splatoon franchise. The battle maps may be similar to other racetracks, but the modes completely make up for it. Balloon Battle, Coin Runners, Bob on Blast, and Shine Thief all make a return, with a new mode being introduced called Renegade Roundup. which is essentially a game of cops and robbers, having you chase down the other team and vice versa. The battle mode is so fun and provides so much replayability to the game that was desperately needed. The history of Mario Kart is a whole lot more intense than I thought, and I had so much fun making this video. Mario Kart is not just a video game to me, it is my childhood, and I have so many fond memories of playing it for hours with my friends and family. And I hope that someday my kids will be able to experience the same amount of joy and happiness I had while playing it. With all that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next time. Take care, and bye-bye.